Since day one of me covering the Savanah Soto case, I've been saying time and time again that this looks really personal to me. This doesn't look like a random act of street violence. I know a lot of people think that this was a robbery. Now, I'm sure they took whatever Matthew had on him at the time, but no. This looks way more intimate. That's the word I'm looking for. This looks like something that was way more intimate than that. When I think of random, street beef, random beef that you got with people on the streets, I think of drive-bys. Maybe someone catches Matthew in the wrong neighborhood and they do a drive-by. They catch him sitting in his car outside of someone's house, they do a drive-by. They catch him chilling at a red light, they do a drive-by. Maybe they sit outside of his house, wait for him to come out, and they run up on him and bust off a couple of shots. But no, this seems more intimate than that. When I think of a robbery, I think of something way more sloppy, something way more spur of the moment. A in and out job. I don't think of someone, moving bodies and taking a car and putting it here and ducking things off here. No. This looks way more intimate than that. Matthew was killed execution style. Strap to the back of the head. So whoever did this, they wanted to make sure. They wanted to make sure that Matthew did not survive. A simple drive-by spraying off some shots was not enough. Taking whatever he had on him at the time was not enough. They wanted to put the strap to his head to make sure that that shot did the job. And then they did the same to Savanah. Now, Matthew's brother is speaking out. He was on a TikTok live with some people, answering questions, dropping details about the case. In my last video on this case, we talked about how he claims that the killers had Savanah's cell phone at one point, or that someone had Savanah's cell phone, that Savanah's cell phone is missing, along with Matthew's cell phone. And at one point, it looked like someone was getting ready to text him and his girlfriend back from Savanah's phone. Now, he thinks, and I agree with him, that Matthew was set up. That there's a huge possibility here that not only was, one of maybe Matthew's enemies caught up with him, but maybe it was someone actually close to Matthew. Someone that Matthew thought that, someone who Matthew thought was his friend may have done this, or they may have been the middleman. They may have set this up. Because he's saying it's unnatural for Matthew to have been caught slipping in this way. And, I go back to details like about the candle burning in the apartment and things like that. And I really do think that there's a huge possibility here that someone really close to Matthew, someone that either Matthew or Savanah thought they could trust, I think they may be wrapped up in this. But I want you all to listen to what Matthew's brother has to say. Before I roll this clip, though, I need a huge favor. It's free. It's free. All I need you all to do is hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. It only takes a couple of seconds. Click, 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 and you will be notified of all of my new videos. We got a lot of videos coming out about this case, and a lot of videos about some other interesting stories as well. But go ahead and do that. I'm going to roll this clip, and then I'm going to be right back with a lot more to say.
No idea, but somebody, 100% sure, somebody was typing on her phone because my girlfriend saw it, and she freaked out. She was like, babe, someone's typing. And that gave me the speculation that they were alive. That gave me, I was like, okay, they're alive. Okay, that's good.
So do you think they were taken from their apartment, or if it was set up somewhere out? They saw somebody out there in the street or something, because there was some people were saying kidnapped. You know, like they were taking.
My brother always, like I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to say the wrong things, but you know, my brother's gone, so there's nothing illegally that anyone can do. My brother always carried a gun. My brother was never lacking. My brother was never the one that would just not have his gun. He always had his gun. He carried his gun everywhere he went. And I just feel like he was set up. I feel like he was followed from his apartment because they left all their belongings there. You know, they left at 11 in the morning, but my brother, he was always up at like 12:30, 11:30 in the morning. I don't know. I just feel like they went out to go have breakfast real quick. You know, he took a couple thousands with him, and he went out with his girlfriend before that they had to go to the hospital that day at 6:30 p.m. And I just felt like they were followed. And then they got trapped. And that's when I don't know. That's when they got kidnapped.
Yeah,
that's what I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because my brother, they were saying the neighbors said that they left in a Cadillac willingly, and I was like, that's weird because my brother wouldn't get in somebody else's car because one, he has his own car, and two, my brother's smarter than that. My brother, like I said, my brother carried himself. Yes, he made bad choices and stuff. He was living the fast life, but my brother carried himself very smart. Like, not too smart, but he always carried a gun on him. For him to, you know, get caught lacking and set up, like, that wouldn't be my brother. Like,
do you think that they did this on, like, planned it, like, before she would have the baby?
Like they were planning it a couple weeks before they did it, you know, or it could have been months. I don't know. But, yeah.
And was a candle lit in the house? Because everybody's talking about,
the candle was on.
Okay. So they were expecting to come back, obviously.
They were. The diaper bag was there for the baby and everything. You know, they were going to go back.
So then the other thing is, obviously, like you said, and that's what I assumed too, like, that he was probably carrying something for protection. But that wasn't found in the vehicle from what the police...
Yeah, no, his gun was for sure stolen.
Yeah, they only found bullet casings, but even then, they could have been placed there, you know, to try and make it seem like it happened in the car. But it's just, I think ultimately right now is hopefully they have enough surveillance to be able to find where these cars came from. Because I truly believe, based on looking at everything, that it happened somewhere else too. That it was set up by somebody they knew, because somebody doesn't use it apartment.
Yeah, nah. My brother would. If my brother knew he wasn't gonna go back to the apartment, he would have turned off the candle. He would have took the diaper bag, knowing if he was gonna be gone all day, he would have took the diaper bag with him. And yeah.
And if it happened in the car, they would not have had to, like, blow out the windows. The windows would have been blown out.
Yeah, exactly.
But even further, like, if somebody that knew, it had to be somebody that knew that they were about to go to the hospital. Once she's in the hospital, and he was probably going to be with her for like a full 2 days, you know, after the baby was born. So, like, they had to know that she was about to get induced.
It was someone that was either close to Savanah or someone that was close to my brother that had information that others didn't, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So Matthew's brother made a point that I've been meaning to make for the past few videos. But he states that Matthew never went anywhere unarmed. That Matthew always had that blicky on him. Matthew was always strapped up and ready for something like this. And you know, I've gone through some of his social media accounts. I believe his brother. And that's why I was thinking this whole time, you know, I would think that if Matthew got caught up in a situation like this, that the injuries that he sustained would have been different. Because I feel like Matthew might have been the type that, hey, we're going to go ahead and get in a shootout. You know, I'm not going to just go out like this. You know what I mean? So from day one, when I was looking into this, the fact that, you know, what killed Matthew is a shot to the back of the head, and I mean strapped to the back of the head, it made me think that, oh, someone caught Matthew with his guard down. Why would Matthew's guard be down? Most likely because he was in a situation where at the very least he felt somewhat comfortable. So if you look at the nature of the crime, however this happened, however this went down, whoever did this got really close to Matthew. And in order to do that, if Matthew's armed, I'm thinking, his guard is down. He's not thinking that something bad is going to happen necessarily. Now, when you're out here serving random people on the streets, usually your guard is up. Unless maybe it's someone someone who you feel comfortable with. So when Matthew's brother says that Matthew had a lot of fake friends, maybe friends that were jealous, I really do believe that somewhere within all of this, that there's a friend, or we don't want to call him a friend, but there's a fake friend, right? Somewhere in the middle of all of this. Because there's signs here that show that Matthew and Savanah had their guard down. That they were unaware of whatever danger was coming to them. Now, of course, I'm not saying that they should be aware that someone was going to kill them execution style, but at the very least, I feel like they were entering into a situation that they felt comfortable with, not a situation where they felt like they were in danger. Now, we know that no firearm was found at the scene. So if Matthew had something on him, the people had to take it. Or maybe he left it at home. And that's why I'm curious to find out what law enforcement found in their apartment. Because I've seen Matthew's social media. Dude's got a lot of cash and he's got a lot of product. So if law enforcement goes into that apartment and they don't find a lot of cash, they don't find weapons, they don't find product, then something's wrong here, right? Something's definitely wrong here because Matthew had it all. Matthew had all types of stuff, all right? So if nothing's there, then that means that, hey, maybe somehow, some way, someone got in that apartment and took some stuff out. But yeah, looking at the nature of the crime, the fact that someone got close enough to him to put the strap to the back of his head, and it appears the same thing happened to Savanah, it makes me think that they were comfortable. And in order to be comfortable, it's usually because you're dealing with a situation that involves people that you're comfortable with. Like Matthew's brother said, Matthew had a lot of enemies. Matthew had a lot of enemies, but I can tell you right now, it's often not the enemies that you have to worry about. It's the people closest to you. And as someone who's covered my fair share of true crime, and a lot of you've looked into a lot of these cases, we know how this plays out, right? 9 times out of 10, when someone's killed, it's by someone close to them. 9 times out of 10, it's not some total stranger. It's not some random person. Usually, more often than not, it's someone familiar, someone close to the victim. Now, I don't want you all running wild with theories. I don't think it's family or anyone like that. But I think that maybe someone that Matthew or Savanah felt comfortable with, a friend, a connection, someone, was definitely in the midst of all of this, if you ask me. But I could be wrong, and I am willing to be wrong. That is okay with me. One thing people need to understand, you may have your theories, you may have your opinions, that does not make them fact. And when the facts come out, you got to ride with it. You can't some people, they come up with a theory when it comes to these cases, and no matter what comes out, no matter how many facts come out, they stick to their theory and they choose to never believe anything else. I am open to whatever information comes out here. I just have some strong thoughts and opinions about this case. And, everything about this case right now, it screams personal. It screams intimate. But you all let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous, be sure to drop a super thanks, or you could donate to the channel directly via Cash App. I'll have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video. But while you're down there, be sure to help the channel out for free by liking the video, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, all of that good stuff. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.